All right, peace, family, and welcome back to another Through the Bible. I had to get used to saying that because I'm so used to saying, oh,
Couch come out so bad.
But we are continuing on with the book of James in chapter 4. As I always tell you guys, get your Bible out, pen, paper, so that you can take notes for your own studies and follow along.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and hit it with that James 4 and 1.
All right, James chapter 4 and 1 reads, "From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members?"
So James saying, where is all of these internal wars or these conflicts? We know war is going on for a long time. So
yes.
he's talking about both long wars, long conflict, or fightings, which is shorter conflicts, brawlings.
Yes.
He said, where is that coming from? He said, hey, they come from what? Inside, from within.
Yes.
An internal conflict that is brewing from within. That's why we have what he was saying in James chapter 3 about the envying and
Yes.
striving and confusion and every evil work.
Yes.
He's saying, where is it starting? Right up here.
Yes.
It's in your members, in your body, those things that you desire, like verse 2.
Okay. Verse 2, it says, "You lust
You lust, you got a strong desire for something
and have not.
and you can't get it.
You kill
You kill,
and desire to have."
you desire to have. And when he says kill, we know this is like metaphorical language. Because when you what's the one verse? I think it was in First John where it talked about he that hateth his brother in his heart, he is a murderer. Right? But he's saying you got all of these desires and cannot go ahead, bro.
And cannot obtain.
But you can't get that thing that you want.
You fight and war.
Y'all going back and forth, bickering, using that what? How are they fighting and warring? Through that tongue. That's why
Yes.
James mentioned that in James chapter 3. They're using that mouth, cursing one another,
Yes.
slandering one another, because the end game is to get these, whatever desire it is. And that lust does not have to always be sexual. It could be for anything. Some type of achievement, status.
Yes.
You want some money.
That's right.
You want to be head honcho. You want some power. It can,
Yeah, you know
whatever
what
that
it is.
thing is.
Yep.
And he says, what? You fight in war,
Yet you have not,
but you can't get it.
because you ask
And
not.
why? Because you don't ask. Ask who? The Most High. And Jesus Christ told us, seek ye the kingdom of God first. And all the righteousness, I think that's how it go.
Yes.
And then all of these things that you want will be added to you. That's what happened to our father, King Solomon.
That's right.
He sought out the Most High. Oh, Lord, give me wisdom. And then the Lord gave him everything
All that other
else.
stuff. That's right.
Verse 3.
It says you ask
You ask, and then when you do ask,
and receive not,
you don't get it.
because you ask amiss.
Because when you ask the Most High, you already know that what?
That you may consume it upon your lust.
See, you got the wrong motives. You got the wrong intention.
That's right. Yep. You
So that you can consume it on those things that you desire, that you want. And that right there upon your lust, that's selfishness.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it doesn't benefit the other brothers and sisters. It's what I want. So this is how the world operates.
Yeah, but we don't.
But those who are called believers are not to operate this way. We know that whatever we ask the Most High, we receive it because we do His will.
That's right.
And I gotta say, we see a lot of this in Israel today.
Yes.
A lot of warring and fighting today. It's just done in a different manner, like on social media.
Yes.
Going back and forth, slandering each other, cutting each other down, spreading rumors,
Keyboard wars.
lying on each other.
Yep. And you know what? That's not loving your neighbor.
That's not loving your neighbor.
And that's where it all starts. Okay.
And see, some people know not to ask the Most High because they already know it be wrong from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
why they have to do
Yeah.
the slandering and the lying and all of that, because they already know it's wrong.
Yeah. And then, but he said you still ain't got it.
But you still can't. You doing all that
All
for
this
nothing.
warring for nothing.
All
Oh,
you're
my
doing
goodness.
is tearing one another down.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all that comes of this
Yeah.
type of mindset.
That's it.
So what is James doing? He's reprimanding these brothers and sisters that's involved in this foolishness.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11. And see, these are the things we want to work on. I tell y'all all the time, we spend so much time trying to uncover the mysteries and the prophecies of the Bible.
Yeah.
But this is what we need to work on. Because this is what God looking at, not how
Yes.
well you know about the 4 beasts
Yes.
and all that.
That's right. And then when you look at that word war, when you're at war with something, that means something trying to kill you.
Yes.
Or you trying to kill it.
And there's major loss in war.
Yes.
Nobody wins.
That's right.
Nobody wins from that. All you got to do is look at physical war.
Yeah. That's right.
Nobody really truly wins.
That's why this flesh has to die daily,
Yes.
every day.
Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11.
Okay. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11 reads, Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against your soul.
That's the same thing James was talking about. It come from within.
Yes.
They war, these lusts war in your members.
Yeah.
He's saying, what though? Abstain. Let me look up that right quick.
Yes. And while she looking up that, and you see how it still is deal when they say flesh, that lets you know right there it ain't no good.
Yep.
Fleshly.
Fleshly.
You know, because we're supposed to walk after the spirit and not
spirit.
after the flesh.
What was that in Galatians when he said, if you walk in the spirit, you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And I use the word war, like you said. You know, war is serious. You get put to death. That's
Yeah.
what happens in war. Major sacrifice.
Yeah. So in essence, it's safe to say that your own flesh trying to kill you,
Basically,
trying to
you
take
got
you out.
basically for my video gamers, you got Call of Duty, modern warfare going on.
Within yourself. Yes.
You say I'm finna turn on this PS5 and play Call of Duty. You ain't got to.
You already got it.
You already got the game inside you.
Yes.
So to abstain yourself, it says to restrain oneself from doing. So this means that this is going to take discipline.
Yes, that's right. Discipline.
So it means that we all know what we struggle with and what we battle with. But Peter's saying, restrain from those things, or else you're going to get what we see in James chapter 4. Let's go to Luke chapter 11 and verse 9.
Okay, Luke chapter 11.
This is what we need to be meditating on.
Yes.
The Lord told us that you must be born again or you will not see the kingdom of God. Did he say break down that
No
prophecy?
He
and the
ain't,
mystery?
no, he ain't mentioned
Born
it nowhere.
again where? In your mind.
Yes.
We need to kill the lust, our fleshly lust every single day and renew our mind in Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Until we become like him, walking like him, talking like him, and thinking like him.
That's right. That's so
He said, because you ain't got that, don't you even worry about the kingdom.
yeah, you ain't gonna
You gonna know a lot of stuff and still be on the way to hell.
Yeah,
You just gonna be a sinner full of knowledge.
that's right. I mean, you got the Pharisees. They
You
know
gonna
all
hear
that law.
depart from me. Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to hear that word. Duh.
Ooh. Luke 11, 9 through 13.
Okay, Luke 11 and verse 9 reads, And I say unto you, ask,
So do what now?
ask.
Then James said,
Ask not.
You ask and you receive not. And when you ask wrong. Because you got the wrong motive anyway.
That's right.
The Lord sitting in heaven, I don't want to hear that. He bat it back down. Boom.
Yep.
He bat your prayer. But the Lord say what? Ask.
And it shall be given you.
And I'll give it to you. You ain't got to do evil to get it.
You sure
Whatever
don't.
it is that you want, the Lord saying ask. Didn't he say the earth is mine and the fullness thereof?
That's what he said.
So all belong to him.
Yeah. So what's the problem with asking?
Yeah, ask. That means there's going to be some humility involved.
Yes. Seek,
Seek.
and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you.
The Lord basically saying, I ain't going to deny you. But you got to ask, you got to seek, and you got to knock.
Yes.
Verse 10.
For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be open.
He making a promise. Verse 11.
If a son shall ask bread of any of you that is a father, will you give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he give for a fish, give him a serpent?
So he like as a parent, if your son come ask you for any of these things, are you going to give him the opposite of what he asked you for? Verse 12.
Or if he shall ask an egg, will he offer him a scorpion?
And you know, scorpions and serpents are dangerous.
Yeah.
Things sting you and kill you.
Yeah, no, he gonna give him that.
So the Lord ain't gonna give you nothing that's gonna kill you and destroy you. That's why he say you ask amiss. A lot of times the Lord know the things that we ask for is gonna destroy us. Verse 13.
If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your heavenly Father give the Holy Spirit to them that ask him?
Yeah, ask, and I will give it to you. And you know what? This Holy Spirit is gonna give you wisdom to get these things.
That's right.
And remember, I like that he said Holy Spirit because James told us, what was that in chapter 3? About that wisdom that is from below.
Oh, yeah.
It is earthly, sensual, and devilish.
Yeah.
But the Lord gives you that Holy Spirit, which is from above. That is good. It's going to give you wisdom. It's going to bring peace.
Yeah.
It's going to be gentle and merciful. Not like that warring and fighting you doing
No.
in James chapter 4. Okay,
That's
let's
right.
go to 1 John 3 and 22. Try not to make this alone, y'all. Just trying to make my points and move on.
And I like that he told you what you should be asking for the Holy Spirit.
You should be
He
asking
didn't
for
say
that.
chariot,
Yep.
100 lambs and rams and
Yep.
goats. Because he said, you know, you seek ye first the kingdom, all them other things going to be added.
Yes, all the other stuff come with it.
So 1 John 3 and 22.
And 22, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it says, and whatsoever we ask,
Yep. And whatsoever we ask,
we receive of him.
then when Jesus just telling them that about that,
He
you
said,
ask. Because what though?
Because we keep his commandments.
Oh, see, that's the key.
Uh-oh.
We keep his commandments
And do those things that are pleasing in his sight.
and we do the things that please God. And it say in his sight, so the Lord watching.
Yeah. So you killing, warring your members, lusting.
Yeah.
We know that ain't pleasing
Yeah,
him. And
that is
definitely
not
keeping
pleasing
the
him.
commandments.
Because that means that you're working division,
Yes.
sowing discord.
Yeah.
Well, Lord don't like stuff like that.
Sure don't.
So you could bet the Lord is going to say no.
Yeah. Put the capital N on it.
No. I remember there were times, Mama, I asked you for something. I know I done showed I.
The no.
She hit me with an emphatic no. Almost like I can't believe this girl asked me for something after she done that. No. Now get out of here and clean them dishes.
That's right.
Clean
That
your
is-
room, get that stuff off.
That's right.
Well, the Lord ain't no different. He don't play that mess.
Yeah, you ain't kept now commandment. Did nothing the Lord said.
Yeah.
Nothing
Legal
that please
term.
me and you want to ask.
Yeah.
No. You ain't getting
You
nothing.
ain't getting nothing. Let's go to Luke 15, 11 through 13.
Okay.
Because he was talking about you only want to consume those things on your lust. Let's look at an example of that with the prodigal son.
Okay.
Luke 15, 11 through 13.
All right. Luke 15 and verse 11 reads, and he said, a certain man had 2 sons.
And we know that this is just a parable for Judah and Israel, both houses.
And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me.
Then he just asked.
Yeah, he asked. And he divided unto them his living.
So he gave out his inheritance to them. Verse 13.
And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country,
So he can what?
and wasted his substance with riotous living.
This is what the Lord see when you ask him for stuff. Because you
Yes.
want to do this right here. You want to spend these things on your lust.
Oh, you love that's
It
it.
say righteous. Did it say righteous? That ain't what mine.
No,
I didn't
it's
see no
missing.
R-I.
G-H-E-T.
I see some letters missing.
Yes.
It say righteous.
Riotous.
living.
Yes.
Reveling and just living it up. Banqueting, partying.
You ain't thought about the poor,
Nope.
the homeless, the fatherless, the widows, and that just riotous living.
Everything is about me. Ooh, child, I'm finna go here, finna go there, I'm finna get that
Yeah.
Gucci bag. And the Lord would say, no.
No, no, no.
Nope, now get out of here. All right, let's go back to James chapter 4, and we'll pick it up with verse 4. Now watch what James called him.
Okay. James chapter 4 and verse 4. And it says, you adulterers and adulteresses.
That's both man and woman, ain't it?
Know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore would be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
So he calls them adulterers and adulteresses. And he's saying this in a spiritual sense. That they're what? Unfaithful.
Yes.
No fidelity. By you chasing after these things that you want, these different lusts, you're making yourself an enemy with God. Because like Jesus Christ told us, you can't serve both God and mammon.
Yes.
You must choose one master. Hate the one, serve one, and hate the other.
That's right.
He's saying, whosoever, therefore, any one of y'all that will be a friend of the world, you got the same mentality this world got.
That's right.
Get mine, run everybody else over to get it.
That's right.
If I got to cut you down, run you down, low rate you,
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes to get whatever it is I want. That's how this world think. That's how people think in Satan's kingdom. It said, whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy. So he let them know, you an enemy of God
Yes, and that's not good.
with this type of mentality. Because God ain't going to put up with this behavior.
You sure isn't.
And you know you don't want to make no enemy out of God.
You sure don't.
Because we know what he do to his enemies.
Yes.
But watch this, verse 5.
Do you think that the scripture saith in vain that the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy?
That means that spirit that God gave us. The spirit that the Most High gave us is jealous for us, meaning that, or envious for us, meaning that we're supposed to, I'm trying to explain it right,
Yeah. Take your time.
but I might have to cut it out.
Like because this spirit, because the mind of Christ, He put it in us, and this spirit in us, it's not in there for us to lust and to envy. It's there to love our brethren, to take care of the widows, the fatherless, the homeless. That's why He say when He goes talking about like if your brother if he warm, you don't say go be well. No, you give him a coat. You provide the need for that person.
Basically, the spirit that the Most High put in us, it's not gonna, we can't have fellowship You know, he can't have fellowship with this type of mindset
No.
that is in us. He's a jealous God. He told you that in the book of Exodus.
Well, that also goes back to when he was talking about the tongue. You know, it can't, they're sweet and bitter.
Yeah, it can't.
Figs can't bring forth berries and olives and all of that stuff. It's got to be one of the other. So you got to choose up sides in this.
In other words, the Lord ain't gonna put up with this foolishness.
He gonna choose you this day.
That's
Who
right.
you gonna serve?
Okay, because the Lord, that spirit that He puts in us, it's supposed to keep us sealed
Yes.
against the day of evil. But if you pissing Him off and you making Him angry, you grieving the spirit. You know, you gonna get some wrath.
Yeah, gonna get some.
But verse 6.
Verse 6 says, but he giveth more grace.
But see, the Lord is gracious.
Yeah. And that's where people want to take advantage because he, you know,
Because
because he's long suffering.
So James is about to tell them what they need to do.
Yeah.
He's trying to lead them the right way, course correct them.
Yes.
But hey, the Lord is gracious. He giving you what? Time to get this
right.
here together.
Yes.
To put an end to this nonsense. All right.
Wherefore he said, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble.
See, and that's the mindset y'all in. You're prideful. And the Lord He fights against the proud. But to those of you who are humble, He'll give you grace. Work that thing out. So what is James getting ready to tell them? You need to humble yourself.
Yes.
All y'all need to humble yourselves
Yes,
to
sir.
God
Sure do.
and get this thing right
Yes.
before the belt come out.
Yeah, because you don't want that coming out.
Because grace isn't some kind of ticket for you to just keep doing what you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
But grace is time for you to right wrongs.
Yeah, they looking at, he ain't got me yet. He
Yeah.
must be watching.
No. He said we do the things pleasing in His sight, right? In 1 John. Well, if
Yeah.
He see the things that please Him, don't He see the evil too?
Well, they don't think so. He ain't paying no attention to the displeasing part. No, he's watching it all.
Let's go to Proverbs 3 and verse 34.
Okay. Proverbs chapter 3. And verse 34. Okay. It says, surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly.
And it's basically what James was just saying. He resisted the proud. And you know, a scorner is someone who's a mocker. They show contempt.
Yeah.
Well, he say he scorneth them scorners.
Yeah.
So he got the same attitude. You gonna mock? I'm gonna mock you.
That's right.
You gonna show disrespect and contempt? I'm gonna do it to you.
Yep.
I'm gonna return the favor. But what He giveth grace unto the lowly. He give you mercy.
Oh boy.
And if you humble yourself.
Yes, Lord.
Let's go to Luke 18, 10 through 14.
So that humbling ain't no joke. Boy. You
Sure
gotta be up
ain't.
on being humble.
That's this right here. This is the stuff the Most High want us to work on.
Yes. That is so true. Because all the other stuff is a result of us not doing this.
Wouldn't be no prophecies and mysteries if you got.
We did.
If you'd have been humble,
Yeah.
loved your God, loved your neighbor, we wouldn't have all this today.
We'll still be in Jerusalem.
Yeah. Wouldn't be no talking about the Lord gotta bring back Israel from all four corners.
Yep.
He gotta bring both houses together, Jew, no Greek. Wouldn't be none of that.
No. Sure don't.
Luke 18, 10 through 14.
All right. Luke 18 and chapter 10
We're
says.
gonna look at a picture of humbling yourself.
Okay. 2 men went up into the temple to pray. The one a Pharisee and the other a publican.
See, the Lord left this in here for us. You fit one of these two. You had a Pharisee and the other one a publican. So in short, you got a religious man And you got a man who works for, doing the taxes and stuff like that at the time. Verse 11.
The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself. God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this here publican.
And he said this where? Within himself. Ooh, Lord, I thank you ain't like these other ones out here.
Boy, I tell you.
So he thinks that he's above everybody. No, the problem is everybody else. I'm perfect.
Nope.
Verse 12.
I fast twice in the week.
Lord, look at this stuff. Look at these works I got. I fast not once, twice. And
I give tithes of all that I possess.
And I'm charitable. Let me see if the Lord was impressed. Verse 13.
And the publican standing afar off.
Wait a minute, the publican, he's standing afar off.
Would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven.
He wouldn't even look up into heaven. Showing humility.
But smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner.
Wait a minute. So he admitting I'm a sinner.
Yes.
That's a far cry from what this Pharisee said. Like this, so like God, his little buddy or something. Like these extortioners over here.
Yep.
Verse 14. Watch what Jesus says.
He said, I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased. And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
That's what it's all about. Humbling yourself. This is stuff we got to work on. I noticed too that the publican, he actually speaks versus
within myself.
the Pharisee within himself.
Yeah. I ain't even got to speak it. I can just say
And we
it
see this
within
same
myself.
attitude today.
Yep.
I'm doing all these works. Look at me, Lord. I'm keeping this Passover, feast on unleavened bread. I give, but you're missing humility.
That's right.
Are you walking in the Spirit, though?
Yep. That's right.
That same Pharisee, let's go read back here what Jesus had said about them and what was that, Matthew 23, how he dressed them down.
Oh, yeah. Went in.
The Lord ain't impressed with that.
No. Don't move in one iota.
So if you exalt yourself, you will be abased. And if you humble yourself, you will be exalted. The Lord will take you to the top. You ain't got to do no evil. And that's what we see here in James. They're exalting themselves. Okay. Let's go back to James 4 and we'll pick it up with verse 7.
Okay.
Now, what we're about to read, these verses 7 through 10, this is what the Day of Atonement is.
All right.
Because it's harder to do what we're about to read than it is to fast.
That's right. We just seen the
seen it.
Pharisee talking about he fast.
So let's go ahead, verse 7.
Okay. James 4 and 7 says, submit yourselves therefore to God.
So see how he's telling them, so submit yourself. It's time for y'all to humble yourself.
Resist the devil.
You need to fight against the devil. Because what did he say in James 3:15? That wisdom was what? Earthly. That wisdom from below.
Yeah, it's
was earthly, sensual, and devilish.
That's right.
So he let her know the devil is working.
Yeah.
He said, no, you need to fight the devil because he's the one bringing all of these temptations, stirring up all of these passions and appetites within you. And what?
And he will flee from you.
So you got to fight. Then we see that happen with Jesus when he came.
Yep.
Command these stones we made the bread.
Yeah.
Bow down, I give you all the kingdoms.
That's right.
Ain't those things we want?
Yeah.
Satan brought things to Jesus that he knew he was going to receive, that he wanted. That's how the devil attacks you, about what you lust for.
That's right.
So he says, resist him. Don't entertain him.
That's right.
Verse 8.
It says, draw nigh to God,
You need to draw near to God.
and he will draw nigh to you.
So if you're saying draw nigh, that means you far away.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Your heart is far from God. What now?
Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded.
Some people would have said James was mean.
Yeah.
No, but
help
see,
you.
this is the thing. We have to warn
Yep.
our people. We can't sit around, turn a blind eye, act like we don't see it. We have to speak up and say something, or the virus is going to continue to spread.
That's right. So I like he used the word cleanse and purify, submit, resist the devil,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Need to clean that, like you say, clean, purify that mind with what? This word of God, double-minded.
Yep. This is their wills.
Because there is a war going on in your members. You got the good and the bad. And those thoughts are going back and forth. That spirit and flesh is at war within you.
Yes.
And that's what's causing you to be double-minded. On one hand, you blessing the Lord God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Shalom, peace, hallelujah. And then 2 seconds later, you cussing your brothers.
Yep.
Running them down. And your sisters.
Yep.
Verse 9.
Verse 9 says, be afflicted.
Wait a minute. Ain't that what he said on the Day of Atonement in Leviticus
Yep.
23? Be afflicted. But everybody think it mean fast.
Yep. Humble.
No, it means
Yourself.
be humble. Anah. And what?
Mourn
You need to be crying
and weep.
and weeping. So you need to humble yourself.
That's right.
You shouldn't be entertained and because when you be involved in like what they're in and going back and forth, you got all these strivings and war, it puffs you up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
That
really
pride
go
come
on
in.
it.
No, so you need to turn it down.
Yes.
It's time to turn on the tears.
That's right.
Beat your chest like the publican.
Yes. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness.
This ain't a time to be laughing and enjoying, because I see that today too on social media when Israel be going back and forth. They be putting up memes and cackling and laughing. No, that's not funny.
Yep.
This is serious business. Souls are being destroyed. You
That's
have
right.
brothers and sisters on the outside who are watching your conduct,
That's right.
watching what you post. They say, why do I want to be a part of that? Look how they act. We
Yeah.
don't even do that in the world.
They living cleaner than you. Yep.
You a terrible ambassador for the
Yeah.
gospel.
That's right.
You the worst ambassador, the worst messenger. Go sit down. And that's
Yes.
what gives us a bad name.
Yes, it does.
Even today, when people think of Israelites, ooh, them
What?
Israelites, ooh, girl, child.
Yep, that's true.
That's not good. Child, they be talking about all that Lord and Jesus and God and Yahweh and all that. Child, them things ain't nothing. Verse 10.
It says, humble yourselves in the sight of God, in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up.
He will exalt you. He'll give you all these things y'all been worrying about doing all this evil. He'll give you. And he ain't gonna give you no foolishness, because he just told you, I ain't giving you nothing that's for your own lust.
Nope. Sure isn't.
But he wants to take us higher.
Yeah.
So we gotta humble ourselves.
Humble yourselves.
Let's go to Isaiah 1 and read 16 through 17.
Okay. And he just keep using this word humble. I ain't seen fast yet.
I didn't see the word fast.
And the Pharisee, he just told you he did twice a week.
Yeah, he said I fasted twice a week. And we're not saying that a person can't fast or
No.
you enjoy it. That ain't what we saying, but the Most High has always wanted his people to be humble. He even said,
Yes.
what if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves?
Yes.
He didn't say fast.
No. He said humble.
He said, humble yourselves and seek my face. Same thing Jesus said.
Yes.
Seek. All right, Isaiah 1, 16 through 18.
Okay. Isaiah chapter 1 and 16 says, wash you and make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil.
Ain't that what James just said?
No, just finna ask you that.
Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your heart, you double-minded.
Yep.
What is he saying? Put away the evil of your doings.
Yes.
Cease
Yeah.
from doing evil. That's what James is telling me.
And like he said, before mine eye, did we just read
Yeah.
that Lord saw?
In my sight. So the Lord watching you. He see you on social media, everything.
see
He
it.
hear what's in your mind only.
That's right.
The Lord is the original surveillance camera.
That's right. That's right.
What is that? ADT or whatever that thing called. It ain't got nothing on him.
It sure don't.
That little ring thing that
Yeah,
people have
yeah,
with they homes. Got nothing on God.
Yep.
And he got his angels watching.
Sure do.
So you double, triple watch. Okay, verse 17.
It says, learn to do well.
You need to learn to do well. From well. Right out of this book.
That's right. That's where you're going to learn it from. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless and plead for the widow. Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Was I supposed to? Yeah. Saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. And though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool.
That's why James said he give him more grace. But you got to come. He say, come now. Then he say, draw nigh to God.
Yep.
That's the same thing.
Yep.
You need to come to God and you need to learn the prophecies. Learn the mysteries. Learn to do well. Seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow.
That's
but
right.
these people get trampled in the midst of your selfish campaign.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Let's go to Leviticus 23, 27 through 32.
Okay.
Because I told y'all that James 4, 7 through 10 is what the Day of Atonement is all about. It was never about fasting. We learned that from the Ish folks.
Yep.
Leviticus 23, 27 through 32.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 27 says, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your soul.
Fast.
Afflict your soul.
No, it say fast right there.
What do you say?
Afflict your souls.
And offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And you shall do no work in that same day. For it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God.
Now, wait a minute. Why would you be offering an offering if you're finna be fasting?
Yeah, all this smelling going up.
He said this is a day of atonement. A day of get right. A day
Yes.
of reconciliation. Verse 29.
For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
That's why James was warning them. Humble yourself, or the Lord
That's
will cut
right.
you off. This kind of behavior y'all got is making you an enemy with God. And we know God cut off his enemies.
That's right. So it lets you know all that warring and fighting and lusting, and he even called them adulterers and adulteresses. You know, that stuff gets you cut off.
Yep. Get
It's
you
all
straight
that's
cut off.
fleshly. All of that.
That's what they're talking about. They ain't talking about fasting. You know how many people fast and they still full of what we just read.
Yeah, we just read
In
the
James
Pharisee.
4. Yeah. More they fast, worse they get.
That's right. Verse 30.
Yes, ma'am.
And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in the same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
Now it's interesting that he used the word work here, and we know no physical work or nothing like that. But in a spiritual sense, it's these fleshly works.
Yes.
Whoever shall do these works,
That's right.
all of these carnal fleshly works.
That's right.
It will get you cut off. In the day of the Lord, He gonna cut you off.
Yes.
See, because all of these things, they represented the spiritual. Verse 31.
You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest.
Now that's interesting because the writer in Hebrews 4, what did he say about and whoever have ceased from works, when he was talking about on the how the Lord, he rested on the Sabbath day.
Yes. Yeah.
He said that you supposed to be resting with the Most High.
That's
so
right.
if you've rested, that means you cease from works. What works? These wicked, evil
Yes.
works. All right.
Yeah. But that shows you, like, if you still a slave to sin, slave don't get no rest.
Nope, no rest.
You work to that master tell you.
That's
stuff.
right.
Verse 32 in the middle. It says, in the 9th day of the month at even, from even to even, shall you celebrate your Sabbath.
So humble yourself. This is what the Lord wants.
Yeah. And that seems like it's so easy to do. But
But
man,
it's actually tough. That's why people would rather do things like fast.
Physical.
They would rather do the works. You know, this is something that the unbelieving Jews and the unbelieving Pharisees and all of them, they had a hard time wrapping their mind around this.
yes.
Because they were able to cover up. You know, as long as I do these works, I ain't got to worry about working on my inner man, the inner woman.
Yeah.
I can just cover it up with these words. No,
Not so.
Okay, so back to James 4 and verse 11.
Okay, James 4 and 11 says, speak not evil one of another, brethren.
So that's what was going on. They were speaking evil of each other.
Boy, tearing each other up.
I mean, boy, that tongue was doing some serious swording.
Yes. It was going to work.
That's why he mentioned in the previous chapter about them cursing each other.
Yes.
Out of the same mouth proceeded blessing and cursing. My brother, these things ought not so to be, because that's what they were doing.
Yep.
1 minute it was praise the Lord God, cussing their brother out.
The next man.
He said, but don't speak evil of each other.
He that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the law.
Right, because the law says what? Love your neighbor. So when you do this evil, you speaking evil of that law you claim to keep.
And judgeth the law.
Yeah. And then you judging the law.
The law say, but I say.
Yeah, but I say you gonna do this.
Yeah.
We see the same thing going on today.
Yeah. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
Yeah, and we know you ain't no judge.
No.
But verse 12.
There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judges another?
So he said there's only one lawgiver and you ain't it. Now, I don't remember you talking to Moses on the mountain giving him the law.
Not at all.
So why would you put yourself in that position? You need to be keeping this law.
That's right.
You are not a judge of it, but you ought to be keeping it.
Yes.
There's only one lawgiver who is able to save and destroy. And we know that's the Most High.
That's right. Just the most.
Didn't Jesus say, fear not the one that can,
Destroy that body.
but can do both?
Yeah.
Well, he got the power to save you. So he's saying, who are you that judging? You sitting there judging one another.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing, even today, we got no business doing that. Judging like just yesterday you wasn't doing evil and still doing it.
Yeah.
And then want to sit up and judge. This is what the Pharisees did.
Oh, yes.
Let's go to Romans 2, 1 through 3. We almost there, y'all.
Okay. This is good eating.
We got to stop all that.
Romans 2 and 1 says, therefore, thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judge.
Judge if there it is.
For wherein thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself. For thou that judgest doest the same things.
And that's what James talking about.
Yes.
Because we know that we can take this word and we're able to say, okay, this person ain't doing right. We
Yes.
can admonish them and correct them. But what they was doing was this right here.
The same thing.
You judge it, but then you doing the same stuff. Verse 2.
Verse 2 says, but we are sure that the judgment of God is according to truth against them which commit such things. Verse 3, and thinkest thou this, O man, that judgest them which do such things, and doest the same thing, that thou shalt escape the judgment of God?
You think you finna escape.
So that means you know better.
Yeah, so that means you know better.
So how you going to escape the judgment of God that you telling them to judge them by? So if you could tell them they doing wrong and you doing it, that means you know better.
That's right.
So you shouldn't be doing
That's why James said, cut that mess out.
it. Cut it out.
Let's go to Luke 6:37.
Okay. Luke 6 and 37. And it reads, judge not, and you shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven.
So the Lord say, hey, look, judge not, and you shall not be judged.
Yep.
Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. That's what a lot of us be ready to do.
Yep.
Ready to condemn somebody.
That's right.
That's what the Pharisees did when they brought the woman. Look, she committed adultery.
Yeah.
What should we do?
Yeah.
Then Jesus said, let the first you that let whoever is without sin, you be the first one to throw that stone.
So many rocks down, they could have built a house. Because they automatically knows hard that
They left for the single file line.
Oh, goodness.
But the Lord say, don't do that. Forgive, and you shall
Yes.
be forgiven. So be careful when you throwing around your weight,
Yes.
because you never know when you may need
No.
mercy. Isaiah 33:22.
Okay.
Because James said there is one lawgiver,
One.
and it ain't you.
It sure is. It says, Isaiah 33:22. For the Lord is our judge.
The Lord is our judge,
Our
not
judge.
you.
The Lord is our lawgiver.
Oh, the Lord is the lawgiver.
The Lord is our king.
He will what?
Save us.
That's what
I
James
love
was
it.
talking about. He said he got the power. He is able to save.
Yes.
The Lord will save her, not you.
No.
I ain't see your name nowhere in there.
No.
Ain't none of our names in there.
You warned to kill, not to save. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so James 4:13-17.
Okay.
A few more and we'll be
James
through.
chapter 4 and 13 says, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year, and buy and sell and get gain.
And who is this saying that? That's that group he addressing. The ones that's got these lusts. See, we gonna do this, and then we gonna do that. See, they in their pride.
Yes,
Doing all this evil. These are believers.
that's right.
We forget that. These ain't brothers and sisters out in the world, outside of God. These are people who say they love the Lord.
Yep, it sure is.
All right, verse 14.
Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanished away.
So he letting them know you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
No.
That's why I'm telling y'all to humble yourself. See, you don't realize how much danger you in.
Yeah.
You could lose your life today.
But you already planned.
You should be using this grace and getting this right, and not planning about all these things. We finna go get all this money. We finna go whatever it is y'all want.
Yep.
No, you here for a little and then you gone, just like a mist.
Yep.
Gone, just like that. So he's letting them know how serious this is. Verse 15.
For that you oughtn't to say,
So first of all, what you need to be saying,
if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that.
That's what you need to be saying.
That's right.
If the Lord will. That's why I like to say it a lot.
Oh, me
Lord
too.
willing, I throw it up quick.
Me too.
And boy, some people don't like
They
to
be
hear
like,
it. Why you gotta say all
yeah,
that?
because the book says.
Verse 16.
But now you rejoice in your boasting.
But see but you rejoicing though. That's why up above he said, be afflicted and mourn.
Yes, I was just thinking that. All such rejoicing is evil.
Yes, this is evil the way y'all are doing. This is not right.
Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin.
And that's what you was talking about. In order for them to judge, I mean, they knew
Yes.
what was right.
It just wasn't doing it.
So he's saying, y'all know what to do, but you not doing it. That's sin to you.
That is
While
sin.
you claim to be keeping the law.
That's right.
Sitting
So
there
you
like
know-
you a judge of the law.
Yes.
And ain't even keeping it. So James let them know, hey, you need to be humble. And it's time to put a ceasefire
Yeah.
to this foolishness y'all got going on. Proverbs 27 and 1.
Okay. Okay. Proverbs 27 and 1 says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth.
That's where James got it from. So he ain't make it up.
He sure didn't. All that boasting gotta cease. Should say if it
Boast
be the
not
Lord's
yourself.
will.
Yes, if the Lord will.
But you know, that's where that humbling come in. Because a humble person is say that.
Because you're acknowledging before the Lord that, hey, you run this, not me.
Yes.
Because that's what, we like to think. We run things.
Yeah.
You don't run nothing. Wherever you do, wherever you go, the Lord in control all that.
Everything.
Even when that train caught you up, boy.
Yeah, if you like this
try to-
train, then they have the nerve to sit on the track. Yeah.
The Lord guide your footsteps. Okay, Job 7, 6 through 7.
Okay. Job 7 and 6 says, my days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle, and are spent without hope. Oh, remember that my life is
You're
wind.
like that vapor.
Mine eye shall no more see good. Just that fast.
Yep. Job 14, 1 and 2.
Okay. Job chapter 14 and verse 1. Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. And he fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not.
That's how quick life is.
Just like that.
So, and I believe James said that because, again, they was running so hard after their lust and their appetites and
Yes.
trying to obtain and get these
Yeah.
things that they wanted, that they're not even considering that, hey, man, life is short, time is passing you by.
Yes. You worry about buying, selling, and gaining in the next season.
And your mind ain't on the Lord. You're not considering the works of his hand, operation. You ought to be using this time wisely. And say, you know what, I better make sure I'm living right.
Yes. That's
Acts
right.
18 and 21.
Acts 18 and 21 says, but bade them farewell, saying, I must by all means keep this feast that cometh in Jerusalem. But I will return again unto you, if God will.
Oh, not Paul used it.
He has some sense.
If God will.
And he sailed from Ephesus.
So he didn't say, I'm just going to come and do what I want. He
Oh,
said, no,
no.
if God will it. 1 Corinthians 4 and 19. See, that's how the world operates. They think that they could just do whatever they want and live just any kind of way.
Don't work like that.
We got to walk by the Spirit.
Yep.
1 Corinthians 4 and 19.
1 Corinthians 4:19 says, but I will come to you shortly, if the Lord will.
If,
There it is. If
boy,
the
he
Lord-
loved using it.
Yes.
If the Lord will.
And will know not the speech of them which are puffed up, but the power.
And see, the apostle was well acquainted because wasn't he on his way to Damascus?
I'm finna do
get
this.
these letters and I'm gonna go after these
Next thing you know,
Israelites.
you're on the
Father.
ground. Can't see.
And then he learned, Lord, is that you?
That's
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the
that's
Lord
right.
say, "Now, what you gonna do is be an apostle
Yes.
to these lost Israelites out here. That's what you gonna do.
Yes.
Now get up and do it."
That's right.
See, so he knew a little somebody.
That's right. He learned that humbling. Paul
The Lord
stopped all
humbled.
that boasting,
Sure
and
did.
all that Pharisaical and all stuff.
He learned real quick.
Most high
Yeah,
control.
he run this show. All right, well, I don't have anything else to add other than, y'all just keep studying, read your word, and let's pray for one another.
Yes.
And all of our family that's been, brothers and sisters, been asking for prayers.
Yes, that's
Keep
right.
them in your prayers. Got a lot of brothers and sisters that's sick and, different things. And some of you that in that winter storm as well, I'm praying for you. That can't be easy, boy. It's
No.
30, 40 degrees
I'm
here.
seeing negative 11s and 9s and
Negative
10
6.
degrees
And I'm
and
like,
wind
ooh,
blowing. Oh,
I
no.
don't know how y'all do it.
Yeah.
So the Most High
Definitely
keep y'all.
praying for every one of y'all.
So, and I want to say it again, I know Brother Reggie said it on the Sabbath, but we want to give a shout out to Brother Hebrew Sean,
Yes.
Sister Chloe Israel, and as well as Sister Hannah Amaya Israel.
Yes.
Y'all go check out their YouTube channels and subscribe and share it. Y'all really love it. They do an excellent job with their videos. I enjoy them. I watch them all the time.
Yes, and also Brother One Piece.
Yes.
It's his Kingdom 12 music, because he does a lot of music here for Israel's Church, and we're very, very appreciative and thankful for that as well.
Yeah,
So y'all
Brother
check out
One
his
Piece,
channel.
Sister Jazzy, all that.
Yeah, Jazzy. Yeah, I love y'all voices.
Yeah, keep doing what y'all doing. Don't ever think that what y'all doing is in vain. You're helping somebody.
Yeah,
And a lot of times it's the people you can't see.
that's right. That's so right.
So keep putting your brick in. Keep doing the kingdom work because the
Yeah.
Most High is going to reward you. He promises that.
Yeah, and y'all thumbs up their video,
Yeah, thumbs it up.
because I see so much stuff out there in the world, just silliness, and they got thousands of
Tons,
thumbs
yeah.
up. I mean, these brothers and sisters putting in kingdom
Yeah.
work.
Putting in work. So,
Yeah,
well, other than that, I don't really have anything else
that's
to say.
it.
All right. So with that said, we will say shalom.